Yeah, today we're live. Memorial Day, and this is the parade. This is the Dublin City parade.
24 with 18 broken. So you're looking at somebody who in the Navy or Marine Corps.
Anyways, I said, what's your name? Because I just like to hear talk. She said, I, Isla, and he Bruce, or something like that. I'm like, okay. The blue shirt? Oh, this one? Oh, okay, gotcha. Eva? Oh, Viva. She looks like she's completely comfortable. Like she could go to sleep right there. Sounds like my grandson. He's 20 years old. He likes to sleep. I like to get up on trail and miss it. College fun, they want to stay up late, get up early. Like that. Yeah, yeah. Tell me all about it. It's great. Parked a little close. I parked there by the parking garage here at the library. I wasn't sure. I was running a little bit late. Right. Well, they'll have fun playing when they get older. When she gets older. Yeah, I had a sister that was 2 years older, but I guess we did her best. We have one granddaughter who lost her finder. She's talking up his phone now. I just don't know what to say. I just listen. Now she's waving. Oh, yeah. Oh, did she? So she's practicing. How long I was on that? Well, have a good day. I got two already.
Pass them out for you. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Good, how are you? We're back here.
There's some chairs over here to the left.
Sorry. I have one. That's fine. He's just going to take off. Yeah, I'll get a picture as well. He knows all.
Can I ask you all to move up very close, please? We still have a few more coming in, so we'll wait and get as close as you can. That way you can actually hear us.
Can you hold?
Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 Memorial Day presentation by American Legion Post 800 in the city of Dublin. We welcome you all. As you know, Memorial Day is to commemorate those who are fallen, such as these soldiers, sailors, and Marines that are etched on the wall behind me. The presentation of gifts. Scouts. Does anybody else have gifts they would like to present to the fallen? Jean, raise the colors. National anthem. Please rise if you are able. Please be seated. Now I'd like to introduce Councilman John Reiner, who's also a veteran. Please welcome John.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. On behalf of the City of Dublin and the Dublin City Council, we welcome and thank you for all being here today as we observe Memorial Day as a proud and patriotic community. Joining me today are my fellow council members, Mayor Chris Ambrose Grooms, Kathy DeRosa, Jane Fox, Andy Keeler, Amy Cran, and our city manager, Megan O'Callahan. In gratitude for today's activities, I would like to thank the Wesley G. Davis Dublin Post 800 of the American Legion, headed by Colonel Noble, and the City of Dublin's Veterans Committee for bringing us together to commemorate this Memorial Day. Today, we honor the fallen, those heroes who gave their lives in service of our country. While we remember all who served on Veterans Day, Memorial Day is a day to honor those who died fighting for our freedom. Today is a very symbolic day for our nation. It is time to pause and reflect upon those who have made the ultimate sacrifice while serving their country. It is especially meaningful to see so many people taking part in today's ceremony and honoring those who have served and wore our country's uniform. I would like to salute my fellow veterans and their families, and especially the Gold Star families who are joining us today. Thank you for your sacrifice you have made on behalf of a really grateful nation. And today, we are proud and we are joined by one of those family members, Pamela Baragona, who is especially close to her brother, Lieutenant Colonel Dominic Rocky Baragona, who was a commanding officer of the 19th Maintenance Battalion at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Tragically, Rocky was killed in Iraq on May 19th, 2003, 2 days before he was expected to return home. I am told that the military was his career, but his family was his life. Here to share more about Rocky as one of his family members, it is my honor to introduce his sister, Pamela Baragona. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, City of Dublin. Thank you for all the kind words about my brother. I appreciate it. If I'm not speaking loud enough, somebody's supposed to give me a thumbs up. Okay? So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hearing about my story. Thank you for gathering here today during Memorial Week, a time of remember and honor the brave souls who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. My name is Pamela Baragona, and I'm here to share the story of my beloved brother, Lieutenant Colonel Dominic Rocky Baragona, who was killed May 19th, 2003 in Iraq. Rocky was more than just my brother. He was my hero. He was my confidant, and he was the heart of our family. He was born into a large Italian Catholic family. He was the middle of 7, and he was the middle of the boys. There were 5 brothers. His quiet strength and unwavering kindness made him the glue that held us all together. And Rocky embodied, all of those pieces. He was just kind and he was sweet. And it's just shocking that he's not here with me today. Our parents, Velma and Dominic Baragona, by the way, today is May 27th, is their 69th wedding anniversary. They raised us with strong values, and Rocky embodied them all. He was intelligent, he had humility, and he had a deep sense of duty. From a young age, Rocky's brilliance was really evident. At just 14, he taught his high school computer class at John F. Kennedy High School in Warren, Ohio, impressing both his peers and his teachers, and even my brother David, who was actually in the class, who actually followed my brother in his footsteps into the military. His passion for learning was just boundless. Even in the 8th grade, he was one of only 10 students invited to study mathematics of crystals formating in Chicago, which, like in the world, that's just sort of hard to even believe. I think we were in Niles, Ohio thinking, what does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Rocky's academic journey led him to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, where he graduated in 1981 with a degree in aerospace engineering. Despite the academic achievements, he chose the path of logistics and became one of the top Army's logisticians. His leadership skills were unparalleled, and he was known for his innovative solutions and his ability to inspire his men. Rocky served over 20 years in the military, dedicating his life to his country with unwavering commitment. And he could have retired, but he chose, when duty called for him to serve in Iraq as commander of the 19th Maintenance, he chose that path. That was something that was really important to him, to be able to lead his men. So Rocky's service took him around the world, including a pivotal role in Korea during the events of 9/11, where he headed the International Task Force on Terrorism. He was recognized for his exceptional service and his leadership as the commander, obviously, of the 19th Maintenance Battalion at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. He faced the challenges of the Iraq War. He was resilient. He had ingenuity. His men often shared so many stories of how he would find simple solutions to the most difficult problems, earning their respect and admiration. I mean, he was known for sayings like, "I can be convinced." You know, when his men came in to argue with him, instead of being such a hard leader, he really wanted that teamwork. So he'd say things like, "I can be convinced." Or if he was wrong, he would say, "The truth has changed." You know, because he didn't want to ever say he was wrong. But Rocky really was more than a soldier. He was a beloved family man. He adored the Cleveland Indians, and he was named after Rocky Colavito, and he loved the Buckeyes. And we cherish always holidays together. We're a family of 7. He always was the guy who brought the jokes and the spirit of the holiday to everybody. And he was deeply devoted to my mom. They were like so close, you know, out of the 5 boys. I mean, we never would admit that he was the smartest, but he was the smartest. And my mother went back to school at the age of 40 after my brother Christopher died of leukemia. My mother was going to college, and my brother, who was just like 13 or 14, was helping my mom pass all the astronomy and mathematics classes. So that just gives you sort of how their relationship went. You know, I have so many memories of my brother. One of my fondest was that he was a fisherman and he loved sailing. So one of the things that he did while he was in the military is he bought a sailboat, and you know, you could just see that that was where he found his peace in life, was out on the water, just sailing. We have so many beautiful pictures of him just by himself. He was a very quiet, introverted person. Rocky's life was a testament to doing more than expected. He lived with a purpose, which is really true. He was driven by an inner sense of duty and pride. He could have retired, like I said before, but he never did. And his life was cut short at the age of 42. He was exceptionally impactful, and he left with him a legacy of service, humility, and love. On May 19th, on his way back after serving as the commander of the 19th Maintenance Battalion, Rocky had decided to stay 2 extra days. So he sent all of his men first, but he stayed 2 extra days to give commendation to some of the other battalions that he was also in charge of. And so he brought with him just 3 or 4 people to stay back. They were not that happy about it, I just wanted to say that. But unfortunately, because he stayed back, Rocky, died tragically by an accident with a Humvee. And it was a foreign defense contractor, semi-truck. My father, on the day that my brother dies, had just spoken to him. Because he was a commander, he kind of had little extra privileges. So he could talk to my dad while he was in the Humvee. And my father said to him, is anything going to happen? Are we going to be okay? And my brother said, nah, it's going to be fine unless something stupid happens. And unfortunately, something stupid did happen. And so we lost my brother that day. We had planned a celebration for him to return. His birthday was actually July 14th, and my parents lived on St. George Island in Florida. So instead of planning a homecoming, we had to plan his funeral. It was the hardest thing probably in our lives that we ever had to do. And he's missed every day. Rocky is buried in section 60 of Dublin Cemetery, a place we chose that he could be with his men. And we think that's great, that he's there. And we go see him often. If you get a chance, look up Dominic Rocco Barragona when you're in Arlington, and put a coin at his, or a stone at his site, and we'll know. We have a lady named Holly who walks around to all the the gravesites and goes to each one of them and brings us all the messages. So that's something I think a lot of people don't know about Arlington Cemetery, but it's a wonderful, wonderful tribute for all the people that paid the ultimate sacrifice. As we remember Rocky today, let us remember the true meaning of Memorial Day. It is a day to honor those who have given everything for our freedom. Let Rocky's story inspire you to do more than is expected in your lives. Let us live with the same dedication, love, and humility that he did. Rocky dreamed of moving next door to my parents, sending them to Italy or Copenhagen, and continuing to surprise us with thoughtful gifts and boundless love. Though he didn't get to fulfill those dreams, his spirit lives on in all of us. His life was a testament to the West Point code of duty, honor, and country. He gave everything for his country. In his memory, we strive to do the same. In closing, I just want to tell you a quick story about my brother. You know, he was the commander, and they gave you commander coins. I don't know if people know this, you know, like I think people that are in the military know this, but these coins are coveted. And on his coin, his motto was, do more than expected. So I would ask you, in remembering Rocky, we are free because, you know, we have these people in our lives who gave everything, who did more than expected. So when you go out today, if you want to honor his legacy, do more than is expected. You know, that's what I would say to everybody. And say his name. I think that he would love that. So, and I think that would be a great legacy. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I really appreciate that you listened to his story about and how much we loved him. And, you know, thank you to all those who have served our great nation and to those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. God bless you. God bless America.
Now I'd like to introduce Amber Hudson. Amber Hudson is a Navy vet who a number of years ago started an organization called MAC, Military and Service Heroes Campus. It's basically a food and resource center for military and veterans and first responders. Great organization. So let's let her talk. Amanda?
I'm nervous, so I wrote things down. Okay, again, my name is Amber. I am the founder and executive director of MASH, Military and Service Heroes. Our motto is no veteran, military family, or survivor will go without, at least not on our watch. From our humble beginnings, we opened the doors May 2019, and we now have 5 locations. We have a partnering pantry, and we also have a headquarters that's in Marysville, Ohio. In addition to that, we have honor gardens, and we just partnered with the VA, so we will be in 5 of the CBOCs, the clinics, the outpatient clinics. For you that don't know what CBOC stands for, community-based outpatient clinics. Our goal is to make an imprint, even if it's only for a moment, in a veteran's life, a survivor's life, military personnel's life, to leave no one behind. We don't want anyone to feel isolated, and that goes very much so for the survivors. We are their family. Just like how in the military there was the MASH unit. That's what MASH 407 inspired what MASH is today. So through this experience, I had an unbelievable relationship with NOS, which is the Naval Center at Rickenbacker. Rickenbacker was actually my duty station. I was a naval reservist. I was a hospital corpsman. And about 3 years ago, we worked with a fantastic captain, Captain James Prouty, and he was for NOSC. And we also participated and worked with Lima Company. And I'm here to honor Lima Company. As I'm sure everybody knows here, Lima Company on August 3rd, 2005, let me grab this, I don't want to mess anything up. August 3rd, 2005, a detonation of a roadside bomb in Iraq killed a whole unit almost the whole unit of Marines from the Reserve 3rd Battalion, 25th Marine Regiment, 4th Marine Division, Columbus, Ohio, from Rickenbacker. And one was actually a hospital corpsman. If you haven't seen it yet, there is a memorial called the Eyes of Freedom. And this coming up next year, being the 20th anniversary, I recommend try to go see it wherever it is. I mean, this is phenomenal. And it actually, this accident even hit home here in Dublin. So what I'm going to do with a portion of my time is I would like to name off the Marines that lost their life. And if I mess up their names, I apologize for that. First class, Private First Class, Christopher R. Dixon. Lance Corporal, Christopher P. Lyons. Staff Sergeant, Anthony L. Goodwin. Petty Officer Third Class, Travis Youngblood. Sergeant Justin F. Hoffman. Staff Sergeant Kendall H. Ivy II. Lance Corporal Nicholas William B. Bowman. Corporal Andre L. Williams. Lance Corporal Grant B. Fraser. Lance Corporal Aaron H. Reed. Lance Corporal Edward A. Schroeder II. Lance Corporal William B. Reitman. Lance Corporal Timothy M. Bell Jr. Lance Corporal Eric J. Bernholtz. Corporate Dustin A. Durga. Lance Corporal Nicholas B. Erdy. Sergeant David N. Wilberg. Lance Corporal Michael J. Sufusant. I know I said that wrong. Lance Corporal Christopher J. Dyer. Lance Corporal Jonathan W. Grant. Sergeant David Kenneth J. Kruger. Lance Corporal Jordan L. Grease. And from Dublin Scioto High School, Lance Corporal Wesley G. Davids. Now some of those Marines did not die at that incident. However, they did die within that month. I'd also like to recognize from Dublin, Marine Lance Corporal Captain Nicholas J. Rosansky. He too, Lance Corporal Wesley went to Dublin, and the Captain Nicholas J. Rodansky graduated from Dublin High School. I'd also like to acknowledge just a few people that have made an impression in our lives at MASH. One of my volunteers, her name was Tanya Freeman, and her son, his name was, he was Army, I think it's SPC, is that spec? Okay. Zachary T. Myers, and he's from Delaware. He died September 8th, 2009. His vehicle was bombed in Iraq. We honored a Gold Star family at the Columbus Clippers, and their son was Marine Lance Corporal James F. Kemple, and he died on May 2nd, 2008 in a roadside bomb, killing 4 Marines. And one of my dear volunteers, Elaine, her son, he was a senior airman, Tristan Michael Ross. At 25, he died. And October 7th, 2015 is when he died. He was a senior airman in the 58th Aircraft Squad at Kirkland Air Force Base. He happened to die with unknown causes. Now, some of these parents, some of these families know the stories of what happened. Some families don't. You know, through what we do, we're able to sit and talk to some of these survivors. And, you know, one thing that always comes up is that they weren't there. They weren't there to hold their hands. They don't know what their last words were. So as a mother, that I couldn't imagine not being there with my child with their last words. So today, I am overwhelmed to be here, and I can't thank Jeff Noble enough for believing in me and the Dublin community. Do I see hope? We were a part of the Dublin Irish Fest last year, and that was the first time that I had ever attended, and I have never seen such a sense of community, right down from the littlest to the oldest adult. It was beautiful. I mean, we were in the Hero Hut. This year we'll be in the Defender's Den. But just to be a part of that, you know, there is patriotism here. Even though we're losing it, and we're seeing it across the nation on TV or through social media, which sadly our children are being swayed in different ways. We want to keep patriotism going strong through these communities. We are the heart of the nation, and we need to stay the heart of the nation. So what MASH is going to do is we're reaching out to superintendents. We want to run food drives throughout to help support our 5 pantries and resource centers. Again, with the C-Box, we want to support that as well, but it's going to bring a sense of community with those children. And, you know, it's the recruiting scores are down, so patriotism is falling to the side. So let's bring back patriotism. Let's be a part of something big. And in addition to that, those of you veterans that are not a part of a post, a fraternal organization, please join. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't go to my events, to my meetings, because I work 60 to 80 hours a week with MASH. But I belong to 4 posts, an American Legion, an AMVETS, a Marine Corps League, and I'm a VFW auxiliary member because I did not have boots on the ground. But your voice, just by being a member at these posts, gives us a bigger voice in DC for benefits, not just for veterans, but for those coming back from the war and for the survivors. So we need to be the voice of those that can't speak anymore, for their sacrifice. So join, be a part of this. Same with family members. If you have an opportunity, be a part of that post. They help so many wonderful charities, Folds of Honor, Honor Flights, Save a Warrior, again, MASH. There's also Stock Hands, Horses for Healing. There's fantastic organizations out there that the veterans and military can be a part of, and the survivors. We're a family that will never change, but let's keep the family alive and growing for the memory of our fallen. And in closing, I'd just like to share something. One of my colleagues, he said that he spoke with his father-in-law, who was a World War II veteran. By the way, my grandfather was as well. He was devil in baggy pants, for those of you that are military buffs. But He was 82nd Airborne. But anyway, my colleague said that his father-in-law stated to him that we were all gifted a one-way ticket to war. They weren't expecting us to come home. Those that did come home, live and be the voice. Carry that stick, be the voice. Don't fight from your lazy boy chair at home. Be the voice for those that have sacrificed their lives. Thank you for this honor. I appreciate it.
Cynthia, you made it. Before we go a little further, Cynthia Kaufman works over at Brookdale on Muirfield, and she brought some of her resident veterans with her. I'd like to introduce them. Ivan Booth. There's Ivan. United States Army, 1944 to 1946. Casimir Bondarevich. Casimir. Air Force, 1950 to 1954. Merrill Wayne Williams. Navy, 1953 to 1957. And David Applebaum. Hey, Dave. Air Force, 1965 to 1970. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
If you prepare yourselves for prayer. God of peace and war, concord and conflict, hope and heartbreak. On this Memorial Day, we're thankful for the sacrifice that so many throughout our history has made, for the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice, and for their families who had to carry on without them. Today we remember a sacrifice made and a debt we cannot repay. Today we pray for the God of heaven to bless the families of those who have lost loved ones while they were serving our great nation. We pray for him to bless and comfort the walking world who are still with us and bless their families as well. It's also our prayer that we remember their sacrifice and the precious gift of freedom every day, not just once a year. As we end this prayer, please note that the United States Congress has designated 3 p.m. local time on this day as a time for all Americans to observe in their own way the national moment of remembrance. Take that minute to pray that the sacrifices of our fallen will forever be remembered, and that recognition of our veterans not merely convey thanks, but convey love.
Salute the dead. I'd like to thank all the participants, Pam and Amber, the Dublin Scioto Band, the scouts who always help us. Thank you. Our friends from, veterans from Brookdale for joining us. Councilman Ryan and all the members of council. The city supports us fully on this, and we're most appreciative. And most of all, thank you all for coming and sharing in our memory of the fallen. That concludes our ceremony. If you look right over there, you'll see a park, and in that park, you're gonna see some tents. And in those tents, you're gonna see some food. Lunch, and very good for the community. Thank you for coming. Have a great day.
So it's finished, right?
What you want to do? Or you want to walk back to the car and go get something to eat?
I was a little bit worried there. I mean, that was a long time to stand.
There you go. The Irish touch the Italian. I already know. Where's your stuff?
Hey, how are you? Yes, you find my wife right behind you.
Thank you guys. I hope you really enjoyed Memorial Day in Dublin City 2024. Thank you guys. See you later. Bye-bye.